So I'm gonna do this. I'm because I am a parent and I've seen it from the parent side. I've seen it from my son going to school and testing positive for marijuana multiple times, and what that does to your reputation with a coaching staff, even when they giving you opportunities. And how you say you're not realizing what this truly is that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
What type of opportunity that you have in front of you right now. So I can say as a parent that looking at my son go through what he was going through, it was about who he was running with. And the people that he was running with weren't freshmen. The freshmen come into college, and if you link in and you get with another player and he a junior and he been going through this process for 3 years and he didn't figured out how he can maneuver and slip and slide and do whatever it is he need to do and stay in tune with what's going on with classes, what's going on the football field, and still he can go smoke a little weed and do his thing. But most freshmen don't understand the grind. They just come in off the high school high and think I can just do it just like these other guys move. I can start moving like they moving, but you don't even have your process down yet.
Yeah.
You don't even have your groove. You're not in your groove. You're grooving to someone else's groove. And when it's time for you to step up and basically understand how to be a professional, because that's what this process is. If you transitioning from high school, you a semi-professional in the eyes of a parent. I'm basically showing you the way as a semi-pro, okay? Once I release you to go to college, you in the pros now. You got to understand how to move as a pro now. They teaching you how to have your time, how to utilize your time. If you weren't good in high school with time utilization and understanding that I got to be here to do this and be here to do this and be here to do that and can keep my schedule and understand that no matter what's going on, that test still got to get taken care of on this day, no matter what. And mom and daddy ain't here telling you
go study,
go to your room, stay in the house. You understand what I'm saying? And so that they can have some comfort in knowing that at least I nudged you and made you adhere to some type of structure that's going to give you a chance to pass the tests and do what you need to do on the school side. So as you're going through that, how is your parents reacting to what's going on with this first setup in school? And I'm sure it all happened and my parents reacted and that was off to the second school. It happened. I'm sure parents got a whiff of what happens.
For sure. You
got to go through whatever you're going through with them before you can even get to a second and a third before it's time for me to go out of it.
My mom was more so, all for whatever I was trying to do, She ain't think about when I told her I wanted to go to school and play with D. She was all for it. It wasn't a second guess. It was we gonna do what we gotta do for you to go play ball. But my dad, he kind of talked to me. He didn't talk much, but it was more so you effed up. Like you effed up your opportunity. What you gonna do about it? Same thing I was asking myself, basically, what you gonna do? And when I told him I was going to school to play ball, he supported me in that decision as well. It wasn't a more so angry or it was more so sad with my mom with the way it happened with me getting kicked out of school for drug tests. And it wasn't an angry thing with my dad. My dad real, laid back, nonchalant. So he not gonna say much. But he'll say enough for where you understand them type stuff. But it wasn't an anger thing. It was more a supportive thing. Like, all right, you messed up. Now we gonna help you and get it right so you don't F it up again. So, and that's kind of how it went with me getting back in school and going to play ball at the second school that I went to.
Okay. Well, I mean, that brings in.
Yeah, that bring D and Telly, and it bring couple of people that you
I
know
mean, we've
still
been
got
in
relationships
I
with
was
out
gonna
there.
say we've been in it before that, but that's
Yeah.
what brung it
Closer.
way closer at that point, because it went from, we cool, we know each other, to we going to school together. And now I'm going back to a school where we wasn't really doing nothing, and I want to say 3 people came in on top of other people, and that's when it was real deal when Iowa then.
Yeah.
So-
So did go crazy.
So you bring in Wes, or you help Wes and the coaching staff to be aware
He
of
brought
who
me
Wes
in.
is.
I brought Wes
He
in.
brought me in.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
I
you
brought
bring
him
Wes
if
in.
he went there, I'm not
if I'm at another school, he'll probably go to that school. But I brought
Okay.
him into where we at.
So in bringing in Wes, what's your mindset as a dude who you are at a school and you stay 4 years?
Mhm.
So this is your name, this is your reputation, this is hinging on what you have now brought to a team and to the table for your team. How are you feeling? What are you going through as he's entering into that space with you?
Well, I mean, for me, mine was a little different. He redshirted as a freshman. I went in and played I was 17 when I jumped on campus, and I'm first day of practice when we running team, I'm starting. I'm number 1 on the depth chart. I'm rotating with people, but I'm in there. Other freshmen are at the bottom. I'm in there. So coming off that freshman year, just getting my feet wet a little bit, I'm like, man, I see potential in us. We just don't have them certain pieces. So, I didn't think he was going to come, because I'm talking to him. He on scholarship. I'm like,
Yeah, this was all before.
yeah, this
we
all
knew what was going
we
on.
knew what was going on. So for me, finally, when he called me, I don't know, I was at the airport, either coming back home or going home, and he was like, "Yeah, it happened. I need you to call your coach." For me, I'm happy. I'm not necessarily happy he got put out, but I'm happy I got the opportunity to bring him in where I'm at. Because I had a lot of say so. To a certain degree, still as a freshman, I was able to call my coach right away, like, "Hey, coach. Hey, we got somebody that's trying to come, because I'm on the recruiting just like he is to a certain degree." So, I was happy, I'm ecstatic to a certain degree, because I know he gonna come in and be just like I am, be a key,
Impactful.
be super impactful, so for him to come in and, right away, you don't really know. I done went through the whole ring of it sound okay to be interested, but actually getting into school and paying for the school was
The hard part.
the hard part. And I brung that up. I'm sure, I don't know if he remember, but I remember, like, hey, it's, we got to make sure everything work out before we jump and say, "Oh, you going," and then it ended up working out, end up coming to school. And to be honest, it kind of helped, me, and, we haven't mentioned my Telly out a lot, because we was able to bring St. Louis, more front hole in Iowa. They wasn't really
Recruiting out of St. Louis.
They wasn't getting talent. Let's say that. We would get some kids out of St. Louis, but they wasn't playing. They wasn't them people you come and like, "Oh, I'm gonna give him number 7 right away." You can get number 39 and you might not even play. Getting him was like, "All right, hey coach, he's gonna start at this position, and you will see what I mean as soon as you see him in action. You can let somebody else play." And I kind of just knew, I was confident behind knowing he was gonna come in and be impactful. So I was happy, and that's what happened. To be honest, right away. We get the first winning season in 20 years from us coming in as a group and putting it together. And I was already towards my leadership state. I was already towards my role of becoming a leader. So I had a lot of say so from right after that freshman year, when that group of seniors left, the group of juniors that was becoming seniors, I was in that group as a sophomore, and they were seniors. So that helped me out a lot to kind of put that foot in the door for him. Because if I was a bum, if I didn't play, ain't no telling if they would have jumped on it the way they did. They jumped on it right away.